Good evening. Next on the agenda is our public comment. Public participation is encouraged in the Laurel School District. All meetings of the board will be open to the public except provided by law. Scheduled meetings of the board may be recorded. Audience members may address the board during public comment for non-agenda interests or during the discussion of the relevant printed agenda item. Your attendance is welcomed. If you plan to speak to the board, please look over the information on the agenda, complete the public comment card located in the back of the room, and provide it to myself or Superintendent Torix. To address the school board members, please come up to the podium, identify yourself, and briefly state your concern. Public participation is a right that carries certain responsibilities, such as informing oneself in advance of the issues being discussed, voluntarily being brief and germane as possible, not unduly repeating remarks others or you have already made, and showing respect at all times for the rights and opinions of others, whether citizens, board members, school district employees, or students. Thank you for your involvement in Laurel Public Schools. Do I have any public comment for non-agenda interests? A lot of familiar faces, so I'm going to say no. All righty. Let's move forward through our agenda to correspondence. We have a donation to our backpack program. We do appreciate Gail Norman providing $50 to our backpack program, so thank you very much. Gail, if you are listening, we do appreciate your donation to our school. No presentation for this evening, so we're just going to jump in to the consent agenda. I do have a request for the minutes of July 22nd to be removed and discussed separately. So do I have a motion on the consent agenda?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda with the exception of the July 22nd, 2024 board minutes.
I have an approved from Renee. Second from Chris. Comments, questions from the board? Comments, questions from public audience? Not seeing or hearing any. We have a motion to approve by Renee, seconded by Chris. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. Motion carries. For items for the approval of minutes for July 22nd, motion or a discussion?
Discussion, please. So I am the one that requested to have that item pulled, and I just wanted to make a minor adjustment to clarify my Sodexo comments. The minutes read that we're approaching the end of the 5-year renewal and that I'd made a comment that we're supposed to be revenue neutral by that point. That was actually off the original contract. I just didn't want it to get lost moving forward. So it's not at the end of that this one's coming up for renewal. It was off of the original contract. So that should be pretty minor. The original agreement with Sodexo, right? Because we're
Yep, thanks, Julie.
It was off the original agreement, which was 4 years. Or that was it 8 years ago, 9 years ago, 9 years ago.
so just make it off the original
The original.
agreement was to be revenue neutral after 5 at the end of the first contract.
So Donnie McBee stated that Sodexo needed to be cost neutral within 5 years, and this is the 5th year. But you're stating that it was from the previous
Yeah,
contract?
the original contract, 5 years, or revenue neutral at the end of the original contract.
Did you get that, Julie?
Basically, is the original contract when Sodexo first came on. This is Laurel School.
That was just the conversations we'd had. I just didn't want it to get lost in history.
Lost in interpretation? All righty. With that said, do I have a motion on the July 22nd minutes?
That being said, I would make a motion to approve the July 22nd minutes as amended.
Approval on the amendment from Donnie. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Renee. Comments, questions, now that I have a motion on the table? From the board? Comments, questions from public audience? Not hearing any. Motion to approve on that amendment from Donnie, seconded by Renee. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Moving through our agenda down to action items. Action item A, the Student Code of Conduct. Do I have a motion?
I'd motion to approve the LPS Code of Conduct as presented.
Motion approved by Chris. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion on the table. Any comments, suggestions? Renee?
So the only comment I had is under the second bullet point under respect, where it says, which means we do not tolerate teasing. I mean, I think that teasing can turn into bullying. However, I mean, we all tease each other. I think to say that we can't tease anyone seems a bit,
Extreme.
yeah. And my teasing, it's like another teasing is another one of those, well, are you, I mean, I just think that that seems like, I mean, I think gossip and name calling, fine. I just think eliminate teasing and then it leads to, and then we're covering that it leads to conflict anyway. I just don't want to, well, I feel like they're teasing me. I mean, we all tease each other, even in these meetings sometimes. I mean, I just don't think that that's,
Or like negative teasing?
I mean, I think that any behavior that leads to conflict,
We tried to get rid of some of the wordiness on our original first draft, and that may be a sentence we just don't need. Creating a supportive and respectful environment is our priority. We encourage kindness and positive interactions, period. Let's work together to promote a community where everyone feels safe and valued.
I agree with that, because
And not that we don't want those things in there, but I mean, they're spelled out in other areas. That might be a sentence we could just get rid of to prevent. We just want to be respectful and supportive of each other.
I agree, because I think anytime you create lists, you're always going to leave something out. Right, so I do agree. If we just get rid of the list and focus on, and then it leaves it in a positive light, right?
Yeah.
Rather than, so I like that change.
Okay, hold on before you adjust your motion. Anybody else have a comment? Question? Comment, question from public audience? Would you like to amend your motion?
Yeah, I'd amend my motion to, underneath respect, amend the second bullet to remove the section, which means we do not tolerate teasing, gossip, name calling, or any other behavior that could lead to conflict.
Donnie, are you-
Yes.
I do have the original document up, making changes so everyone has access to it.
Now that I have that amendment, any further comment, question on that again? Public audience? All righty. Motion on the amendment from Chris to approve, seconded by Donnie. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Action item B, the adult meal prices. Do I have a motion?
I'll move to approve the adult meal prices for the 24-25 school year.
Motion to approve from Donnie,
Second.
second by Chris. Comments, questions? Board? Comments, questions from public audience? We are here today, right? We're all awake? Okay. Not hearing any. Motion to approve from Donnie, seconded by Chris. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Action item C, the safety manual. Do I have a motion? Do I have discussion first? That's fine. Discussion first. Renee, did you want to jump in then?
So is this, did we have this before?
I didn't see one. We don't, if we had a safety manual prior? Right, so we had one that. Yeah, we can
Ellie
find
wasn't here
no,
that long ago, so just within the last few, or she wrote this one.
she started this one. We've
Oh,
done
okay.
editing, but we didn't have, we had a paper copy, but we never had another digital copy. She retyped all of it, and we've made edits, but we don't have an old digital copy of it.
Well, I mean, I have several,
Justin, can I?
Justin, yeah. Do you have them just wait in the other room in there? Thanks.
I have several like editing suggestions. I don't know if we want to actually go through all of those tonight or not. And then on page 3, where it says all accidents are preventable, 90% of all accidents are caused by unsafe acts, 10% by unsafe like, where does that statistic come from? I mean, I'm not disagreeing with it, but it seems like that's like,
I don't know where that came from right off the top of my head.
oh, I don't, so that I just, if we're gonna put statistics in there, we ought to maybe, unless we just leave it that all accidents are preventable, which I'm not sure that that's a good. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that all of them, I don't know, that just seemed like a weird. And then was it in the past, because it names the HR director as the safety director, is that something we've had in the past?
I couldn't tell you how long that goes. That's been the way it's been the last few years, but I don't know.
That's something that's in her job description, to be the safety director?
I don't think it says safety director, no. Other duties as assigned. It comes out of the HR department. They're kind of the keepers of that. I mean, Wayne read it, I've read it, but they're the keepers of that type of material. Oh, yeah, yeah. We don't have to.
Pledge more of an acknowledgement.
They probably acknowledge their orientation materials to start with, so.
You have like multiple changes or a request.
Every one of them, or if you want me to send them.
I know that this, because of time purposes and meetings, this did not go through
No.
district operations.
And what we can do is we could send it back, and the reason we got into this first board meeting is so that we could bring it back to the second board meeting with any types of changes. The suggested edits can be made, in suggested edit format, so you're not changing things. But I have no problem. You guys have access. I can make sure you have access to it, and you guys can make suggested edits, and then we can bring it back for more discussion at the next board meeting. It's fine with me.
Question
Chris?
for Renee. Are they mostly typographical type formatting things, or is it stuff that would change the meaning of the document?
I would say most of it's just like typo stuff, adding what acronyms mean, making sure we're consistent in wording from one checklist to another checklist, so that we're using consistent language on all of the checklists, so that we're not saying, I mean, it means basically the same thing, but we just need to make sure our wording is consistent from the you know, the custodial checklist to the, if there's similar or common things that we use the same language so that we're consistent throughout.
When are the checklists used? Is every teacher filling these out in their classrooms every day or every semester, or every year, or food safety? Like, the checklist is there. Do they use it and when do they use it?
They are not using it. And that is why we redid
The checklists actually come from MSGIA. Is that the name? Yeah, okay. They actually come from them, and that's what they would like to see since they're our liability insurer. So that's those are their checklists.
Okay, so yeah, the principal, head, maintenance person, and housekeeper will annually complete safety checklists. So we're going to enforce that now. Like, I'm okay with. I like the checklist.
Correct.
Like, okay,
Yes,
so
I would like
as
to.
safety director,
As
you're
the
going
safety
to. Yeah, okay.
director.
All right, so you're going to implement.
Yes.
I'm fine with the checklist. I like it. It's good. I think the teachers will be more aware as they go through it, and the kitchen staff, you know, whatever. But we just have to also. I don't want a checklist to put in a handbook. You
No,
know, so that's great.
Absolutely,
Okay, cool.
yeah. So we have been a little bit remiss in this district about doing some annual trainings that are required, like sexual harassment, bloodborne pathogens. So we're going to tie all of this all in. So when we send it out to staff, that they know that April is sexual harassment month and that kind of stuff. So we will definitely have the directors do those checklists annually around the springtime.
Okay, perfect. Yep.
Chris? Oh, Peggy, stay right there.
Are these departmental checklists, are they contained also in the department? Or is it only in the safety? Like for bus safety?
She does. Yes, she actually is the one that gave us those documents. So she's reviewed it and those were, she wanted them to mirror. Yeah. I'm not sure about facilities. That would be a Wayne question as to where his documents are held. But he did review and Zeta reviewed and Marcy reviewed. So I'm not sure about where he holds his documents, but I'm sure he would love to come up and tell you about it.
I know. It's okay. Don't get too comfortable, Peggy.
Okay. The checklists have not been done in, I don't know how many years, but the safety that we have within the department is huge. We do that internally. I have never seen the safety manual, to be honest with you. This is the first time that I've gone through it. It's a very good document that I think will help us in the process of doing it, because there are things in there that, you know, I hadn't thought of that we would move toward taking care of now in the future. So I think it's a good document that needs to be utilized. But the safety that we have within our organization is phenomenal. I mean, we haven't had a lost time accident or even short-term accident in a long time. Question?
Ready, sir. Thank you so much for your time. Come back on up because I think they're going to start directing at you there. Donnie?
So I was just wondering, I'm glad you brought up MSGIA. Have they had an opportunity to review this document just to make sure we've included?
Not
everything?
MSGIA.
I would like to recommend we have them review it because this
Sure.
is their
I can send
area.
it to Brenda tomorrow and have her take a look at
Yeah,
it.
that's fair.
Absolutely.
Brenda would be a great place to start.
Okay, I won't. I'll say Donnie didn't tell me.
But, Chris?
But if we have threshold or time frame that these are to be done each year, is that included in employee evaluations? So that we know there's follow-up, because there's more liability for having a list of things that we're supposed to check than there would be if there isn't a list of something.
It's true.
Something you know, is getting done.
So in our classified evaluation, there is a special section about safety. It doesn't say specifically to do the lists, but we certainly can add that. It just talks about the safety in general. Is the employee behaving in a safe manner, that kind of thing. And that is on the classified. The teacher evaluation, no, because that's done through somebody else. I'm looking at you to drop the name. Thank
Pass.
you.
I was thinking of it and I couldn't, E-Pass.
Okay.
It has been sent to them. I've not heard back anything, but usually something this large takes a few days. Potentially.
Correct. Yes. That's what they're going to look at for workers' comp. Yes.
Comments, questions for Peggy? Comments, questions in general? Renee?
So we've had a safety committee, correct? Or is this new with this document?
We do have a safety committee. This document did not go through that committee. That committee's
No,
more,
I'm just saying, have we had one in the past, or is it is the safety committee created because of this new
oh,
document?
we've got a safety committee in the past.
So what are they operating off if we haven't had a document? What are they doing?
They're not operating off a handbook. They worked on the Raptor stuff. They work on trainings and where we're going to send people, and we talk about all sorts of things. Not necessarily bloodborne pathogen training, or they're more looking at school security and things like that. Yeah, that's a problem. We can shut up.
So Renee, the way I was explained to it a couple of weeks ago was there is a safety committee that works on like school safety, school shooting, that kind of stuff. This is more related to employee workers' comp kind of safety, that kind of stuff. Slips, trips, and falls, that kind of stuff.
So is this committee going to be the same
That is
committee?
committee is no. This will be a totally different committee, and
And we probably need different names for the committees. I mean,
So what-
or why would they not be the same committee?
Yeah, why would, yeah, I had in my head, we would be using the safety committee, would be doing this work as well.
so it was explained to me differently, but we can certainly
Yeah,
have them
my
do it.
apologies if I got it to you different. Christina is the head of our safety committee and runs it for the district, and we have quarterly meetings. Or monthly, yeah, that's true. We had things we had to figure out, so.
Comments, questions from the board? Comments, questions from public audience? Okay. I currently have item C under an action item.
Oh, I was just going to motion.
Oh.
I'd motion to table the safety manual pending the review of edits submitted by Renee.
Okay, so Chris is tabling.
Second.
He has a second on that. So exactly what would the board like this to do? Is go back to the safety committee, be reviewed, having option to do your suggested edits? How would you like? And that's been sent, so we're waiting.
I would imagine we'll get that before the next board meeting. I'm not worried about that.
Because district operations won't meet until when first,
She set up the meetings, but it'll be September.
so can we wait that? Does this need
Oh,
to be?
technically, no,
or-
technically we can. We wanted to start the year with it, but we didn't have it last year, so we can wait if we need to. I would suggest we try to do it right, do it how we want it to be, rather than try to rush something that we may have to backpedal on later. I don't want to do that either, so.
I'd feel more comfortable if it had gone through district ops myself.
Possibility.
We want to send it back to the safety committee as well.
Yes.
Safety committee, district ops, attorney, and insurance. Anything? Please don't tell me that's hail. Which should probably be caught. Okay. Alrighty. So I have a motion on the table by Chris to table action item C of the safety manual and seconded by Renee. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Actually, I need to back up. I apologize. We got to discussing. I asked for the last comments on the board. I did not ask public comments. I know we have already motioned, but do you have any public comment on that? Okay. My apologies on that. Just trying to make sure we had it all lined up. Moving through the agenda, action item D, the 24-25 budget. Do I have a motion?
Can I speak first?
You may.
Before you make a motion on this one, on the elementary budget, I did have to make a change today to it, so you might want to tell your special meeting this week to do it. It was a small change. I had, under the bond, I had 20,000 for agent fees because I was adding in for what we would be paying Kazi. And Matt and I talked about it, and we took it off because it should probably be part of the bond costs instead of agent fees. So I took that off. So it lowered the taxpayer property tax by 20,000, and so it lowered the mills to 75.24. It was 75.56, now 75.24. The only change I made to the elementary budget, and it's up to you guys if you want to approve it with those changes or just wait till the next meeting or till the special.
Special.
There was no changes in the high school, though, was there?
Comments, feelings? Is it on this topic? Sure.
Yeah, and off the top of my head, I don't know why. I guess I never even thought about it.
I did too. I noticed it went down too. I just, run the numbers as they do. I have no idea why they went down. Maybe they assessed everything too high last year and with property owners complaining about it, maybe.
It's a rotation, to my understanding. It's like every 6 years.
Every other year is the reevaluation.
Yeah, it's every, but for that, I'm.
I'm surprised it went down with the power plant and,
We're asking them why they're,
getting a motion from our, is anyone not on their mic? Make sure your mic's on. Okay.
I've got mine on. You can't yell at me. Donnie. Yeah, just do it.
So my question was as to if we knew why the taxable value had gone down on this cycle, and request follow up with the DOR to see if they have a simple reason for why, since it's kind of an anomaly.
How are we feeling? Do option to either make changes here or table? Have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the elementary and high school budgets with the change of the mills to 75.24 in the elementary budget, as explained by Julie.
I'll second.
Motion to approve by Renee, seconded by Donnie. Now that we do have a motion on the table, any other comments, questions from the board? Comments, questions from public audience? Okay. Action item D of the 24-25 budget to be approved by Renee with those small amendments to them for discussion. Seconded by Donnie. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. All righty, going through our informational items. Thank you very much for providing us with these reports. I'll go through them. Trustees, if you have any comments or questions on them, please let me know and I will stop. My department heads, if you have any comment or you wanted to flag something so we are aware, please feel free to do that. We always, of course, want to make sure we are on with you as well. So moving through department reports, curriculum director. Ma'am.
The one thing that I just wanted to highlight is the change with state testing. It's a big conversation piece, lots of training going on and happening throughout the year, and I just don't want there to be any surprises. So I will try to make sure that I put information about MAST into my board reports. It's kind of a triangulation of support between my office and student services office to make sure our kiddos that need support and accommodations are getting those during testing. And then also with the support of the tech department to make sure that the new platform is up and running. It does look incredibly different than what we're familiar with from SBAC. So I just want to put that out there. If you have questions about MAST, I'm probably about half a step ahead in understanding all of the nuances of it. But just if you have questions or if you are getting questions from the community about what does this new testing look like, have them reach out to me or Mr. Torix. We can definitely try to answer the question or research it and look it up if we don't know yet. Like I said, I'm barely a half a step ahead. All of the new stuff just opened up in the middle of July. And so I'm trying to learn it as fast as I can to help support our buildings that are going to be impacted with the new state testing. But it does look very different. It's not just an end of the year big test that we spend 2 weeks doing. It'll be periodic throughout the school year. There are actually 3 testing windows for MAST with an end of the year what they are calling a performance task, which could be on ELA or it could be math. So that replaces SBAC for ELA and math. All the rest of the testing at the state level is the same. So like our alternative testing with MSAA, AMSA, ACT with rating is still the same. Our testing for our second language learners called Access for ELL, that's all the same. But this is a big change coming across the state. So
This is done grades 3 through 8.
3 through 8 for our general population. Any student who does not, any student who meets criteria to take alternative testing, there's a whole checklist for that, talking about checklists. But this is our general population of students for ELA and math grades 3 through 8. And I'll try to update you guys as much as possible. I'll bring stuff to Learning and Leadership Committee, but just know it's brand new to a lot of us, and it is very different, very, very different. Yep.
All righty. Not seeing any other comments on that. HR annual report. I just want to let you know I do appreciate that. There was a lot of good information down to just the detail of the percentages on everything. So thank you for putting in the time on that. Some eye-opening things I think that we needed to see as well. So thank you very much. Financial reports through executive summary. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I forgot a comment I wanted to make when we were approving the budgets. I just wanted to give a kudos to Matt and Julie for their hard efforts that they put forth. And full reserves is a sign of sound fiscal determination, I guess. I just want to give you kudos for that. That's excellent to see that they're full in all the areas.
Financial reports, going through cash report. Revenue report. Expenditure report. Thank you, Julie, for putting those together as well. Principal report.
So on those, just so this group knows, I told the principals they didn't have to do it, and then that lines got a little bit crossed. So we do have one principal report, and I said, hey, put it in there. It's only fair that Bethany looks like the good student. But I did, the reason the other ones aren't in there.
As she gloats when she walks up.
I did tell them, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And there's, our lines were a little bit crossed between Lindsay and I, but that was my fault, not hers. And just so you know, that's why they're up there. But again, we wanted to put it in there. If you gave it to us, we weren't just going to disregard it. So.
Right? I'm such a rule follower.
Right.
I was asked, so I did that. But more so, I think it actually comes across from West for a variety of reasons. First, I really wanted to be able to take the opportunity to thank the board, Mr. Torix and Charla, for putting together such great opportunities for the staff for the summer. I think that they feel really rejuvenated and able to come back having more of their knowledge base and ready to tackle the new year. Even more so because West is kind of a mess
What are you
right
talking
now.
about?
Just a little bit. But it's a beautiful mess. And so we are really excited about the new changes. And I tried to outline those as well in what I was noticing, because I was able to, throughout the summer, still attend those A&E and Langless meetings. I also want to tell you, I think you did a great job in your selection. This particular team is amazing in their communication and ability to tackle problems before they happen. So I'm really thankful for that. This is different than any other type of building project I've ever been a part of. It's really positive, so that's great. The other part that I wanted to say is that I'm really thankful to Wayne and his crew because we've had such a hard time keeping our maintenance staff and some of our custodians, but this summer they have banded together to really tackle all areas of the district. And I really am so appreciative. I've gotten to visit with a few of them at West School and how they just are kind of becoming their own little family. And I really appreciate that for the hard work they've put in.
We were able to come and see the project, so it was good.
Something.
Thank you very much. Going through the middle school literacy intervention.
Didn't want you to glide by that. So I do want to say that unlike Bethany, there was a little bit of panic that arose when we got that because it was in a meeting. I was like, I got 2 hours to get it done. But we were going to do this anyways. So last spring, we had OPI reach out to me and ask that we present to the schools in Montana about our literacy intervention. I thought that was really neat. I thought that was really cool. And that's not work on me. That's the team I surround myself with. I always want to say that I need to be the dumbest person in the room. That way I'm showing how great we are. And so I have great team member right here, Allison Robertus. And then I also had Jamie Bennington, who is our instructional coach, who did an awful lot of work and worked with us in this, as well as support with Charla and Matt's guidance. So it actually went really well. We went there in June, wasn't it? In June, we had a lot of area schools throughout Montana that came and listened to us talk. And this is the presentation. I don't want to go through the presentation with you guys. You can look through it though. But this is a presentation we gave to the group. And it was actually really well received. After the end of the presentation, we had a number of different schools coming up. How did you figure out a time to meet with or to get this win time? How did you get your staff on board with that? There's so many little what's the word? Yes, that word. That goes into this, that it's impossible to get it all down without a great team and a great staff. And I feel that through this, that there's probably going to be other schools following the same model that we have started last year. Along with that, then I was meeting with our disciplinary literacy coaches, and this was just last week. And I was meeting with them, and they were talking about one step further with this intervention. It was coming from them. These are teachers, classroom teachers, so you get much more engagement and follow through if it's not top down. You want them to take control of this. And they're like, okay, so during one of the PIR days, we're going to have the staff get together and come up with goals from their trains, which is, if you look through this, is one part of it. And then pre-teach, reteach. And they're going to look at the FastBridge data on their own, and we're going to come up with goals there for what they want to work on in the trains, what they want to work on for pre-teach, reteach. And the next step is even awesomer that they came up with. Was the next step is the students are going to be coming up with their own goals. So the teachers are going to come up with their goals. Let's say that's context clues or something like that. So throughout the 7th grade, they're all going to be working on, if that's an area of focus, they're going to be working on that. And the student individuals are going to make their own goals. Anything I forgot?
No, I just wanted to just kind of say that the beauty of all of this coming over and watching it from me being new last year coming over, it was exciting to see the staff and everything that how we built in that professional learning communities within our district and how we're functioning like that. The level of discussions within our staff meetings and our team collaboration times, they're data-focused instruction decisions, as well as data-focused discussions in general. And I just want to say, just kind of do a shout out. Jamie Bennington was our instructional coach. She's going to be our science teacher this year, which we're so thankful we get her. But at the same time, we're not as happy that we've lost those positions. And you guys know that we've spoke about how the importance of those two positions. And I just want to give a big shout out to Charlotte, because over the years, I remember when she was hired, I was like, you're the one for the job. And she has really worked tirelessly through our district, bringing in the literacy grant and the professional development and helping to get those instructional coach positions, and saw the importance of them. And so if it wasn't for any of that and getting us all boosted up and all of our admin team, embracing those changes, this wouldn't have been possible. So I know that we presented, but it really comes from, it takes a village to redo all of this. It doesn't just happen overnight, and it's not just one principal and their team. It literally takes everybody to be part of this process and for a collective agreement of moving forward. So that collective efficacy. And so it was really great to see that Laurel was kind of in the beginning of being able to share out with everybody and watching that. And our neighbor Park County was there, and we did a lot of things similar, but a little bit different. And we even learned from them some things that we can do. And I think those are great opportunities to share around the state what we can, help other educators do. So.
I'm going to jump in here. I wasn't going to. I was going to let them talk, but Justin and Allison, when I first saw that presentation, it literally brought tears to my eyes. The level of work that they are doing at the middle school is incredible. And both of them were like, oh, it wasn't us, but it was. It really, truly is. When we talk about empowering teachers to be leaders, we have to give them that freedom to take risks, to take chances, to try new ideas. And that can't just be, lip service. That has to be really, truly saying, here, team, you guys understand these pieces, go and do it. And I really, truly believe that Justin and Allison have committed to doing the work of intervention, ensuring all students learn at high levels. They truly are doing all of the things that we've been learning about for the last 4 years, and now have systems and structures in place to sustain that work long term. So I reached out to both of them and I'm like, oh my gosh, this brought tears to my eyes. This is an amazing thing. And both of them were immediately like, no, it's not us, but it is. When they empowered their staff, that's when it truly like just took on a life of its own. So thank you to Justin and Allison.
Thank you. Good job, team. All righty, moving through superintendent's report.
We have a few updates I'd like to report on. I got finally got some bus dates from Zeta. We think we're going to have our bus that we ordered in 2022. We think we'll have that at the end of this month.
So fast.
Phil, that's a sarcastic note we should make in the minutes.
Did we get charged for shipping fees?
No, not here. The two buses that we got, that we bought last year, we should get, we're thinking delivery dates have been set for late December, early January. So they will get those over to us at the end of the year. That's right now, that's what the dates we're being told. So those are all positive things. Also, just kind of an update on the facilities. Our gym bleachers are in at the high school. There's a few things missing, some end caps that are back ordered that they'll come back and put on the ends, but the bleachers are there, and they've actually started sanding the floor today. So they made up almost a week. They were behind, and because of the late deliveries and all that, but they made up about a week, and they're already sanding the floors. It's not perfect. We'll be doing some things over at the middle school, right, Mr. Torgerson, as far as volleyball and stuff goes for a little bit, but they're going to work hard and work at getting that done, and we should be in it early September sometime. We should be in our gym, so they are working on that. I had one more thing, and now I don't remember what it was. So if I think of it, I'll come back. Oh, we had a great training today, and I didn't put that in here, and I should have. And so in front of you, you have a book. We had Randy Russell come. He's a superintendent out. He's actually from Montana, but right now he's currently in Washington. And this is his book. One of the things we really talked about needing for our administration was really a lot of work on just kind of communication, kind of trusting each other. I mean, we don't know each other real well yet, and really about trust. There's been a lot of administrative turnover, and those are things we need to start building this team and moving forward. We can do a lot of great things. So today, and I've given you guys all a copy of this book. Randy brought some for the board, and it was a great meeting today. I thought it was just personally, I took some big steps with just communication and something that really resonated with me. And that's not that we're not honest or have integrity, but we need to be honest all the time. Even when we're having unpleasant conversations, it's important to be honest. So we've really come up with, and this is in its first ideation and wording here, but at the end of the day, this was the little sentence that we came up with, and just so it kind of gives you a synopsis of what we're working on. But the Laurel School District Leadership Team is committed to the following for 24-25 school year. We will deliver clear and consistent and transparent communication and timely follow through with honesty and integrity. We will support and implement our decisions by following the no surprises approach to build a culture of trust within our school. The no surprises meaning we don't ever want to surprise you guys. We don't want to surprise each other. We want to keep things, right out in the open. We did a lot of activities today. It was a lot of fun, actually. I had a lot of fun with it, and really taught us a little bit about ourselves and about how we interact with each other. We have such a good group of people. We just need that little extra something to get through some of our issues. So, yes, ma'am. Thank you for listening to that.
I just want to emphasize it's not one and done. He's going to be coming back throughout the year and help us build on what we decided. And it was really a we approach, not him telling us what to do. It really was a collaborative effort by all of us. I was skeptical, but I'm glad I had no reason to be skeptical.
Great day.
Well, thank you very much. All righty. Anything else? Okay. No, yeah. Chris?
Matt, is there an update on the 8 certified positions that are still vacant?
We have any update
All
on
those?
which, the age you said?
There's 8, I believe.
8. We don't have 8 certified positions open right now. We'll actually bring it, not certified.
I'm just looking at the job vacancy list that was on the report.
So for certified, the only thing that we have open is a title position at South and a 5th grade position, but that position was accepted this morning. So we have filled that. So the only thing we really have open for certified is title. Yeah, title at South.
We do have some non-certified positions.
Right, we have some classified positions. Zeta added a bunch of positions due to the student population. And then you guys approved a custodian today, and we will interview another SNA tomorrow.
Are the psychologists certified?
Yes, we have to keep that posted because we went with a group, a contracted group that does it. And according to the CBA, we have to keep that posted, even though we do have someone for next.
And the contract we had with the contracted school psych, we can get out of that at any time.
30 days notice.
30 days notice. So if we do hire somebody, we can go ahead and end that contract prior to the end of the school year.
Jenny?
What about the long-term sub for kindergarten?
So we're interviewing that position Wednesday.
Does that one have to be certified as well?
Yes, because she's taking her full 60 days and we have to have a certified teacher within 35 days.
So we clearly took care of resignation report and job vacancies really quick. Comments on that? Okay. Laurel School District Safe Return to Schools and Continuity of Services Plan.
I think we have that for another month and a half.
Alrighty, moving into our MTSBA liaison report, Ms. Donnie.
Really not a whole lot to report on. Things really slow down at MTSBA over the summer. They've taken a few weeks off from the Thursday think tanks. They'll be coming back once school starts. Registration is open for MCEL. It is in Missoula. And I think that's about all they got going on right at the moment. Everything that we voted on passed. They sent that notice out today that everything had passed statewide. So
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Discussion. I know we kind of did
Forgot we had
just
that
kept jumping
discussion
ahead
item,
today.
yeah.
I think everybody's excited. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. So anything else?
All the boards have been replaced, though.
Correct. The boards that were cracked have been replaced. Don't know how many total. We're probably close, pushing 100 maybe total boards replaced.
Floorboards.
240. Well, that's more than I thought. So we've replaced them, and they started the whole sanding today. So it's probably no lines on the floor at all right now.
Any future discussion besides the safety manual that we'll be bringing back? Future discussion. Anybody have any topic that we've missed that they need to bring back up? before I have everybody bail on me, let me just get through my comment and then you can either leave or hang out. But the next item on the agenda, as the presiding officer of the meeting, may close the meeting during this time underneath the Montana Code Annotated of 2-3-203, that it relates to a matter of individual privacy. And if only I, as the officer, determines that demands of individual privacy clearly exceeds the merits of public disclosure, let's spit that out, and the right of the individual privacy may be waived by the individual about whom the discussion pertains to. So I will be closing the next item on the agenda for a closed session. Board, let's have a quick, let's just do a 4. Let's come back at 7 o'clock. It is 6:56. We'll come back at 7 and we will have the closed session. Thank you very much. Enjoy your evening. You're more than welcome to hang out. And when we reopen, you can come back up.